When we think about evolution, we usually think about biology, species, fossils, extinction. But what if I told you that something as unexpected as arcade video games also evolves in a very similar way? In fact, some video games diversify, adapt, and even go extinct, just like living organisms.
In our research, we study cultural evolution, how ideas, technologies, and behaviors change over time. And arcade video games are a perfect system to study these processes. Why? Because we have very detailed records of thousands of arcade machines over several decades. It's almost like a complete fossil record, but for culture. Video games don't evolve in a vacuum. They evolve within structured environments, what we call genres. Think about games like racing, shooting, or fighting. Each type of game creates its own set of constraints and opportunities. Each shapes what kinds of innovations can emerge, what players expect, and whether a game succeeds or fails. In that sense, genres are a bit like ecological niches. But instead of adapting to natural environments like species do, games adapt to player expectations and to how we physically interact with the machines.
So, in the fossil record, we have plenty of evidence of evolution at many levels. So, we have species sorting, extinctions, originations, and what we can see that usually we have a clade diversification. It approaching the maximum diversity and collapse, and also the long tail of living fossils. So we think that this pattern can have universality in biology as well as on other domains.
We see a very similar pattern in arcade games. Genres rapidly diversify, they reach a peak, and then many collapse. But what drove this collapse? Many genres didn't disappear because they weren't good. In some cases, they declined because they were simply too successful. Pac Man is a well known example. In the early 80s, arcade games exploded in popularity and then declined just as fast. After Pac Man did well, a lot of games like it were made. Too many copies, too little innovation. Arcade games are cultural systems, like technology, science, or art. And like these systems, they follow evolutionary dynamics, patterns that we can actually measure and analyze. But the key factor is not just innovation, it's how innovation is organized. Too much imitation can kill a system, but sustained recombination and collaboration can keep innovation alive. So, next time you see an old arcade game, you may be looking at a fossil from a lost technological world.